while the movie is still fresh in my mind, I want to talk about it. Now, this is going to contain tons of spoilers. So it's basically a fantasy genre. So to get to the end, I'd just say it was a near perfect 4.7 out of 5, let's say. You know, we're going to give it a rating. We're going to say it's an A. It's an A. And what I loved about it was it had the fairy tale elements done in a realistic fashion. They also didn't overdo it. They kind of incorporated the fantasy in moderation and with limits to add to its beauty and realism when it did happen. There was one part that was kind of felt like it was thrown in, but I did appreciate it. It was when the giant started walking and imitating the fox. Yet it was done so well that you can tell that the director and everyone there made sure that everything worked together harmoniously and smoothly for an audience to appreciate. The lesson is about courage and fear. So the rundown is like this. There's someone who is not a knight, but he's the son-in-law. No, he's the nephew of the king. And he ends up chopping this magical creature's head off, who represents the end of life. And he happens to be like a tree. He happens to be like life itself. And it was an interesting philosophical implication there, where we think the trees are so beautiful and gracious. But if you think about it, the trees are what take over life. When there's nothing growing, the trees take over. Vegetation takes over. And that's a spin on, it's a spin on how to approach death. Death is actually life, It goes round and around. And that's implied when the magical creature ends up saying to the man begging, what else could there be? When he asks, is there something else other than this? Meaning, do we go on after death? But what's fascinating is that the nephew's life flashed before his eyes. And what he was concerned about was that he might end up dying. That was his main focus, is not dying. So he ends up escaping from the magical creature. But in the end, he does makes a lot of cruddy decisions. And he betrays the prostitute that he was not sure if he was in love with. And he loved this, he thought he loved this other woman that he met during his travels. But she called him a coward because he wanted to use the robe as an amulet type of thing to protect him. And it was very fascinating because that told her that he's not a knight because he wasn't brave. A knight is brave. And the ending I didn't understand. The magical creature congratulates him for taking off the belt that was supposed to protect him. And he says, now that's a knight. Now off with your head. So was that a way to say, I appreciate the effort, but I'm still going to kill you? Or was that a way to say, we just got rid of your head, and so now you can live? But it wouldn't really matter because now he no longer fears death. He kind of said, okay, I've built up the courage. Whether you kill me or not, it doesn't matter. I want to die graciously and not with the flashback that I just had, which showed me as a real bad person for just caring about myself and putting everyone to the side. So I'm going to actually look up what the ending meant. But I think what it means is it doesn't matter if he dies now. It also means that sometimes, whether you like it or not, things happen. It was also ironic because the implication was that he's still going to kill him. And another thing is the fox wanted to protect him. And I'm thinking maybe the fox was saying he's ruthless. No matter what, he's going to kill you. But you can escape from this. And he's not going to go hunt you. So you can live out a good life. And I'll keep your secret. And he was, part of his fear complex was that he didn't see things in between. There was no in-between or gray zone with this man. And that was his main problem. It was either you kill me or you don't kill me. And in a sense, he's a human version of the creature who also sees it in black and white. You know, I either live or I die. I'm either a good knight or a bad knight. I'm either a knight or not a knight. And that black and white thinking is what ended up killing him and not protecting him, not giving him the life that he wanted. So it's also a question of who is the fox. So you probably have to go into the fairy tales or the story, the original Green Knight story, to see what that's about. But very meaningful, and job well done.